What is going on, mortals? Mortal T here, and today we are back on some more Ark Survival Evolved because I'm going to be showing you 3 different ways you can build a floating platform. So, kind of like this one that I'm stood on now. It's not actually supported by anything. There's nothing on the ground right below it, but this structure is floating. So yeah, 3 ways you can do this. So let's get straight into it. So the first way is by using a raft. Now usually rafts have to be in water to be able to use them, and it's going to be true for this method as well. So to build this floating platform, you're going to need to be near the water. So what we're going to do, we're just going to hop on our raft right here, and we're going to place a pillar right in front of us while we're still on the raft. So now we've got off, we're going to build these pillars up. They don't have to be particularly really high, just as high as you really want to go. Then we're going to come over to the shore right here. We're going to place down a foundation like so, and then we're going to put some walls on this foundation. We're going to go up like reasonably high or so, usually to match the level of the pillars that we just placed on the raft. So let's just build these up like so. So let's place our last one, as you can see right there. Now we're going to hop back on the raft, and we're going to try and place the pillar, as you can see, that was right in front of us, in between these walls. So I mean directly in between them, just like you'd place like a normal pillar on the ground or in the middle of the foundation. As you can see, we're going to try and line up the best as we possibly can. But as you can see right there, we're kind of in the middle. We're going to try and bring it forward a tiny bit, and it has to be in the middle of the walls as well. So it doesn't have to be particularly perfect, but it has to be roughly like that. Then what we're going to do next, we're going to pop out a ceiling, and you need this effect to happen where it's kind of trying to snap to both snap points at the same time. So it's jittering around like this, and we want to try and place it. So now it's placed like this. You will notice that this ceiling is not moving, right? But the raft itself, because it bobs up and down, you can actually see it move. So you can see that this pillar is actually bobbing up and down, but the ceiling on top of it is not moving. That means that this ceiling is now kind of like glitched out, and it will remain floating in the air, even though it's not connected to anything. So what I'm going to do, we're going to hop back on the raft, and we're just going to turn it. So as you can see, we're just going to move it around like so, hop back off, and boom, that is floating, which is actually really, really cool. Now, in order to build on this platform though, you need this raft nearby in order to build on it, and I'm going to show you why. So let's try and line this roughly back up. It doesn't have to be perfectly lined up anymore. As long as it's near this ceiling, it'll be alright. So I am going to remove this wall like so. As you can see, everything is still floating. I'm going to remove this wall like so. Boom. Everything has gone apart from the foundation, but as you can see, the ceiling is still here. Now we can place more ceilings on this like so. We can just build around it. Usually you will come to a limit because this says there's no foundation support. So as you can see right here, we can there, here, and as you can see, we can go pretty big. But once you hit this limit right here, all you do, very, very easy, jump back on your raft and move it. Just move it along, then go back up, and as you can see, now it has foundation support. That is how easy it is. So you are going to need this raft underneath the build you are going to do to build on it. just to keep that in mind. So look, if we go back over here, we now have no foundation support, so we can't place walls or nothing, but over here we can, because that is where that pillar is placed. If we move that pillar over to the other side, we'll be able to place walls again. So as long as you're moving this raft around underneath it, you will be able to build on this platform. Now also, do not destroy the raft. Once you have finished your build, you can just move this raft over to a random location, hide it, whatever you want. As soon as you destroy this raft, this platform is going to get destroyed as well. So you do not want to destroy that raft. So keep that in mind if you want to keep this build going. So as you can see, this platform is still going. But because now we have no foundation underneath this, we can just go anywhere and it will not let us build. So you need to make sure you have this raft nearby under where you are building in order to get the foundation support that you need. So that is the first method. So the second method is using the hover skiff. Now this is really close to using the raft method, but with the hover skiff you can basically use this anywhere on land, just because you can fly around. But it is a bit more tricky because yet again it is going to be a bit more unstable. So what we want to do to try and make this as easy as possible on what you're doing, you want to place down normal foundations anywhere. If you're on a slope, this is going to be hard. So what we want to do, we want to try and make the surface as flat as we possibly can get it. So that means just placing foundations down. So as you can see, it doesn't have to be like really big. As long as the hover skiff can kind of fit on it, you're kind of good. Next, what we're going to do, we're going to do exactly the same that we did for the shore on this one. We got a foundation. We're going to place walls on the foundation so high. So what, we got them like we're probably going to need them like 5 or 6 high. Next, what we're going to do, we're going to hop onto the hover skiff. We're going to fetch our wooden foundation out, so it should be like floating, as you can see right there. Do not place it. We want to hop off the hover skiff, look down, and try and get it just in front of the control panel right here. Next, we want to place that. We want to snap a pillar next to the foundation like so. We want to place another foundation like so. Right, now we need to jump on the hover skiff. We actually need to get it up in the air. It has to be in the air in order to do this. So we're going to go over to the foundations just so it's level. Want to try and line it up as best as you possibly can, because yet again we're going to do the thing with the ceiling. So as you can see, we're actually really close here. So we want to back up, and we need to go a bit higher so it's kind of level. Like I said, this one is a bit more tricky just because the hover skiff isn't really precise, so you got to try. So as you can see, it is a bit higher here, but we're going to try it so we get that like double placement. But as you can see, even though it didn't snap to the right place, it snapped to this side of the foundation. As you can see, it is still floating, which is actually really cool. So it doesn't have to be in front. As long as you're getting that flickering between the placements and you place it, it should end up doing exactly this, where the ceiling is staying still but everything around it is moving. So that means that you know you've done it right. Also means you can actually break that wall right there, and you can break down all the foundation support down here if you really wish. But yet again, in order to build on this, you can go up and down in the skiff, whatever. To build off this, the skiff has to be nearby. That pillar, that foundation that we came off has to be nearby. Now you can do this with a foundation like I did, or you can snap a pillar here as well and do the same trick if you want to. You can do it either way, but now we're just going to move this foundation across. So as you can see, because of the terrain, the hover skiff is like acting really weird, but as long as it's close by, you can build like so. The hover skiff is going crazy. Like I said, it is really annoying to try and do this with the hover skiff, but as you can see, as long as you move the hover skiff around, you can just continue building. And yet again, once you destroy the hover skiff, the whole building will get destroyed. Keep that in mind. So once you have built your base or whatever you wanted to build on here, you need to go and hide this hover skiff anywhere. It can be anywhere on the entire map. As long as it doesn't get broken, your build will not get destroyed, and it's really, really easy. You can take this as far away as possible. It's the same with the raft. As long as you can take it as far away as you want. It doesn't matter. As long as it doesn't get destroyed, your building will remain floating. So that is the second method. The third method, mortals, is this one right here, and honestly this is my favorite just because it is the easiest to do out of all of them, and I would recommend doing this anywhere you would want to do a floating build. The only problem is you will have this little piece sticking out the bottom, but you can cover that up if you just go underneath and build underneath it. You can actually cover this up. I have already done a build with this method, and you'll see a video of my channel very, very soon using this method. But like I said, this one is the easiest to do. So just find a patch of land, any patch of land you wish. It doesn't have to be flat. It can be sloped just like so. So we're going to start. What we're going to do, place a pillar down. Very, very simple. Now you can build this as high as you want, as short as you want. It doesn't matter. So as you can see, I can build really, really high right here. Boom, boom, boom. Really easy. Next, we want a hatch frame, which is this guy right here. We want to snap this onto the pillar like so. We want to we want the hatch frame door like so it covers the middle. Next, we're going to need a fence foundation, any fence foundation. This can be done in all materials, so it doesn't matter. And then we want to get our fence foundation, and we need to snap it into a certain position. So as you can see, we don't want it on the edges, we want it in the middle like so, and it has to be near the hatch frame. So as you can see, there's two snap points that will work. There are other twos on the other side, but they do not work. We don't want that. We want one of these two. Now it doesn't matter which one it is, we just want to put it on like so. So it's right there, and then we're going to snap a wall to that fence foundation. Now from here you can build. So we go from the wall that we put down, and you can just start building. Now this one works a little bit differently when it comes to the foundation limit. I'm going to show you. Let's just try and reach it right now. So we can't go there or there. So as you can see, boom, boom, boom. So the limit on this is actually really big already. So as you can see, that's just one pillar. That's one pillar's worth of ceilings and everything. And it also means you can still build on this as well, which is very, very nice. But if you want it bigger, all you have to do, which is very, very easy, we're going to go back down to the base. We're going to get more pillars out, and we're going to snap more pillars to the original one. So usually when you get this one, if you move along, it'll give you this point and then this point. So we just want to do that, and you can just keep going with this. As long as it gets to a snap position, you can just keep going. So we're going to go all the way back up, and as you can see, boom, boom, we can just now keep extending this out until we reach the foundation limit again. But yet again, you just go back down and snap more pillars, and you can just extend this base as long as and as big as you want. Once you have built your base, and I mean the entire base, you need to build walls and everything so it actually looks like what you're supposed to be building. We're going to get onto the hover part. So once you have built what you're supposed to be building, we're going to go back underneath. And when I mean finish your build, also try and do the underneath as well, like this. You can use sloped triangle foundations to go underneath, or you can use the sloped the sloped ceilings to go underneath as well, to try and cover this up, because you can snap walls to these, as you can see, and you can go down and down, and then you can snap ceilings to this. So as you can see, there is a possibility that you can cover all this up. But like I said, once you have built and finished what you're going to do, we're going to get a ceiling out, and we're going to snap it to the hatch frame. So we're going to snap it to there, and then we want another ceiling, and we're going to replace the hatch frame like so. So it destroys the hatch frame entirely. Then we're going to go back to this first ceiling that we placed down. We're going to get rid of it. Then we're going to come over to the second one, which we just replaced the hatch frame with, and we're going to destroy this one as well. So we can just pick that up. Then we're going to go all the way down to the bottom, and then we're going to destroy this right here, and kaboom. As you can see, this is now a floating platform. And if you've placed pillars underneath, you can just get rid of these as well, like so. Very, very easy, and this will remain in the air. But once you have removed all that, you will no longer be able to build on it. So that's why I say you need to finish your build before you remove the foundation support. You can still place stuff on top of it. So as you can see, you can still place stuff on top of it. It doesn't stop like crafting tables or stuff to be placed, which is very, very nice. But building the actual structure, you will not be able to build on it once you have removed the foundation support. So mortals, they are the 3 ways that you can build your hover or floating platforms with no support. Like I said, this one is my favorite because it is the easiest to do, but the other 2 are possible as well. So mortals, I hope this helps you out. I hope you enjoy this little trick, and maybe you'll come up with some really good base designs. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video.